Ingen kommer att glömma fredagen den 13 november. Det är idag 3 månader sedan förra året. Terrorister plötsligt började skjuta i konsertlokalen Bataclan i Paris. På scen stod det amerikanska bandet Eagles of Death Metal och mitt under konserten så sköts 89 fans till döds framför bandet. Bandet avbröt sin turné men nu är de tack och lov ute och spelar igen. Och ikväll spelar de här i Stockholm och jag har med mig bandets ledare Jesse Hughes. I'm honored to have you on the show, Jesse.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah.
This is
How
really
are you?
beautiful. I'm wonderful. Just kidding. No, I mean I'm not sleeping under the dirt, so that's a beautiful thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm on a rock and roll tour, which is the greatest job you could ever have in your life.
Yeah.
You know.
You look amazing, by the way.
Well, that's because of your makeup, Chris. I can assure you that.
Jesse, we have to clear one thing out. Your music is not even close to death metal. What's the story behind the name?
Joshua Homme, my best friend, and I, we were at a bar called the Beer Hunter, and a dude was listening to Scorpions' Winds of Change, you know the song? And he was rocking out really heavy, and we were looking at him like, what's wrong with you, dude? And he finally noticed, and he looked at us, and he goes, dude, this is rock and roll. And I go, no, it's not. And he goes, dude, this is heavy metal. And Joshua goes, no, it's not. And he goes, dude, this is death metal. And I went, it's like the Eagles of death metal. And Josh went, cha-ching. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, I mean, the band sort of made itself.
Yeah. We must take a look at your latest video.
Let's do this.
Complexity.
Complexity.
Yeah, sorry.
I screw that up all the time myself.
Sorry, man.
You didn't want to scratch, but then you got the itch. You only wanted snow white, but you got the witch. You know you're always paying for the shit that's free. It's not easy when it's complexity. I try to make it easy, never stop the flow. Just keep it sweet and simple, let a little skin show. My socks and underwear, I like to keep them clean. It's so easy without complexity.
Oh, that's a good song. Yeah.
Thank you.
But Jesse, you're back on tour again, and tonight you're going to play Debaser here in Stockholm. What's it like to be back on stage after the horrible thing 3 months ago?
It's a complex feeling. You know, there's no simple way to approach it. This is the greatest joy I've ever had in my life, is being on stage and performing and being with my friends who are the fans of rock and roll. But you know, there's a heaviness in my heart that's difficult to, you know, to pretend like it's not there, you know. And we started here in Sweden so that we could build up the momentum to get to Paris, you know what I mean? This is one of my favorite countries in the world, and some of my best friends in rock and roll, the Hives and the Turbo Negro, they live here, and we just, I personally, I just want to, I don't want to let anyone down, you know, because I know there's a lot. I'm sorry, but I know there's a lot going into this. It's really it's intense for everybody, and that's kind of what it's supposed to be, you know. And it's not supposed to be easy.
No,
but I'm grateful that I get to do it.
Yeah, Jesse, it's 3 months today.
To the day.
Yeah, to the day. And how has this terror attack affected you as a band?
Well, I'm happy to report to you that we're in a real family. Our band, our musical family is a real family. We love each other. And from the second we landed at home, nobody let anyone be alone. You know what I mean? And I love my bandmates. They're my brothers, you know. And it helped me personally to look out for my bandmates, to get outside of myself a little bit, you know. So it really has only made us more determined. It's not inside of us to let the bad guys win.
No.
And I mean, it's not under any circumstances. And I don't let anyone live rent-free in my brain. It's just not in me to do that. And I don't deliver the message of the enemy, ever. And I can't do that. And that doesn't mean anything's going to be easy, but it's not supposed to be. So that's cool.
I know it's very hard for you to talk about this, but perhaps also a bit important
It's important for me.
So let's go back to that horrible night in Bataclan in Paris. And you played for an hour, I think so, with the band?
Yeah, about 45 minutes.
Yeah. And then the terrorists start to shoot.
On the very last note of the song, like almost a diabolical— bow, bow, pop, pop, pop. And I knew exactly what was going on. I think I might have been the only one in the whole theater who knew instantly what was happening, because you can feel the concussive push from the rounds going off. And so I was off stage immediately to the side of the stage, and Davey froze for a minute on stage because the house lights went on, and he saw things that he'd never seen before in his life. And by the time I got to the side of the stage, I could taste copper pennies in my mouth because I was breathing in the blood that was being blown into the air. And from the side of the stage, I pulled the curtain back and was looking out into the crowd, really waiting for an opportunity to escape. And, you know, I really love my fans. I get to know them, you know, and for 10 years, I've been touring around the world, and I look forward to seeing these different groups of kids that are going to be waiting. And they'll make little gifts for us, you know, like a bra signed by 100 girls or things. And there were a few girls who had been waiting out front that I had been speaking with and hanging out with, who actually took me to a knife store so I could buy a switchblade, you know, or something like that. And I saw a couple of those girls, you know, go down. And then we were able to get off the stage, and I didn't see my girl Tuesday. She's, you know, the love of my life. And I went back up into the backstage area to look for her, and she wasn't there. And then I opened up a hallway, and when I went inside the hallway, there was a dude at the end of it holding a gun, and he didn't see me. And the door shut behind me, and I was trying to back up, like very sneaky, but he noticed me. And I thought I was dead, and I just waited for the shot to hit me. And when he went to pull his rifle down, the barrel of his gun hit the door frame. Thank God. And when it hit the door frame, I hit the door. And I opened the door, and he started firing, and his rounds shut the door behind me. As the bullets pushed the door shut behind me.
You could have been dead also.
Yeah, I mean, easily.
Yeah. But you got tremendous support from, among others, Bono from the U2. And they took you back to Paris.
U2 is something of an anomaly in this world because they're the real deal. The level of sincerity, I mean, they've been fans of our band for a while, unbeknownst to us. You know, we didn't really realize that they loved our music. And Bono called me. You know, we were kind of trapped in a hotel for the 3 to 4 days following. And Bono called me every day, every morning. He prayed with me every morning. He gave me advice. He sent me a telephone so I could call my mom. And these gestures are beautiful, you know. They're the sort of things that one needs to climb out of this hole that you're thrown in from an attack like this. And they brought us back to Paris and let us share their stage, and then they let us have their stage. And there's nobody that would ever... I mean, really, I don't know if I could be here right now if it... I mean, I'm obviously still, like, you know, I'm a raw nerve. And I'm eternally grateful to those men for what they did for us. I love them forever for this.
Jesse, I'm so impressed you're sitting here today and that you're going to take the stage tonight. And you're going to Paris on Monday to play a concert. And there's going to be a lot of victims, of course, and friends of those who died and so on. Which is really a huge, incredible thing, you know. There were almost 2,000 kids there the night it happened, and almost 2,000 kids are returning. The amount of, I mean, for lack of a better term, but the balls that takes, the courage that it takes. I really don't think it's very difficult, as difficult for me. I mean, I'm very lucky. I have a lot of support. I have a lot of friends. But for my friends that were there that are showing back up, they're probably in a car or taking the train by themselves to get there. That journey alone has got to be terrifying. As soon as I get them in my arms, though, I don't want to let them go. You know, I am going to stop at the door any bummer, any bad time, any bad feeling. It's just, we're going to stay horny inside that theater, and we're never going to stop. You know, I mean, You're going to play Stockholm tonight, and I'm so honored to have you here on the show.
Well, I'm going to be honored to have you there at our show.
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah, please. Thank you guys for having me, and thank you for giving me the platform to share. You know, I really think it's important that everyone knows what happened to our friends in there, you know, and how beautifully, I mean, I know this sounds terrible, but I didn't see a single coward. I didn't see anyone do anything cowardly. I just saw people doing some of the most beautiful things that a person could do, and for lack of a better way to describe it, my friends died very beautifully. They died very well, with great courage, you know.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, man.